24.
Right here.
24. Okay. I ran 15 minutes over, but I'll let you go, but I'll stay for another 15 minutes. People
So I got the bonus, I guess, right?
You get the bonus.
95 left the building.
Yeah.
So I just want to say this is my first town hall. I've listened to some of yours on the telephone.
Mm-hmm.
I really appreciate, like this gentleman articulated, what you do. I like how you express and defend the president because he's truly embattled, and it started before he even took the oath. So, and you mentioned you're part of the Freedom Caucus. I'm curious, I know the media is 100% against us, but why don't we see you on television? Because you're very good. I mean, you're very good. Like, you see the handful like Jim Jordan, Getz, you see a lot of the other ones, like Gomer. I never see you on television defending the president like you are here.
Look, first of all, I'm not sure I'm that good on television. I don't know. Those other guys are good. Those other guys are good. They're good messengers, and I will be honest. Most television producers don't like to go with an unknown quantity. They'll go with the known quantities all the time. And Jim Jordan, for those of you who are not, I mean, you ought to, look up YouTube's on every day. I mean, he's been sitting in these hearings. He summarizes them very well. He's excellent. I made the decision that I don't really care for media attention. I mean, what I want to do is I want to take care of this district. Okay, it's a rural district. I will tell you right now in Washington, there aren't a whole lot. There are far more urban representatives than there are rural representatives. You don't pay 100% of your time on rural issues or 95% of your time on rural issues, the rural areas of this country are going to come behind. Let me put it that way. I won't use the vulgarity, but they are going to get it, okay? So I have to spend my time, and you only have so much time. I mean, if I want to go for a TV appearance, I've been on TV appearance, oh my God, you got to show up a half hour early, you got to put makeup on you, then you got to stay there, you got to go back to the building. That's time I could be doing, honestly, that's time I could be doing looking at bills, making sure I know what's what, trying not to vote on something that I don't fully understand. Which some of my colleagues do. They look at me like, "What did you read it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I read it." Or, I mean, and really, I'm not a lawyer, so sometimes you can't read the entirety of the actual bill, but you have to read a summary, section by section summary of it. You have to know what you're voting on. So there are bills, and I know I got criticized voting on some bills. I'm like, "Did you read it?" I asked the person who's read it, "Have you read this bill? Do you know what was in this?" I'll bring one up right now. The 9/11 Victims Fund. I got criticized for voting against. I was one of the dirty dozen when 12 people. I actually read the darn thing. I'm a doctor, okay? This was not about first responders. If it only limited to first responders, I am lining up from here till tomorrow. It was anybody who leased or rented an apartment in Lower Manhattan for the 1 year and 3 months following 9/11. Qualifies for the rest of their life. They already got health care for the rest of their life. We passed that 5 years ago. This is nothing about health care. If you Google 9/11 Survivor Victims Fund, Google it. First 5 hits are law firms. First 5 hits are law firms. Because 80% of the people who go to the fund bring a lawyer. This is not about justice. This is not about first responders. This is about us writing a blank check. This was out to 2080. It was a 61-year bill with no look-backs. This is it. We're passing a law for 61 years. No look-backs. It's not like, because up till now we've done it for 5 years at a time. In 5 years we look at it and say, okay, what do we spend and how's it being done and who's getting the money and who's actually getting the money. None of that. This was like, because the bill said 9/11, and I had colleagues of mine who I respect greatly. I can't vote against this. I said, I can't vote for this. This is not the way business ought to be done in Washington. These are your dollars that are being spent, not my dollars. And like I said, this was for first responders only. There were 600,000 people eligible for this fund. 600,000 people. There weren't 600,000 first responders dealing with 9/11 or the cleanup, because not only first responders, the people who cleaned up, were driving the bulldozers on the rubble piles. I'm sorry, I care for your money more than that. This bill would have come back first responders only. I'm in it. I'm a co-sponsor of that bill. But look, I'm sorry. I will not. I'll go there and I will be more careful with your money than I am with mine. And let me tell you something. As my wife, I'm pretty careful with my money because you're hard-earned tax dollars. You're hard-working taxpayers. You get that money taken out of your paycheck every month. That federal tax dollar. You better have someone in Washington who's looking at every bill and spending and saying, look, is this a decision that you would make? or you would make, because that's what you're sending me down there to do. I'm your representative down there. You don't have the time to read all this stuff. But that's my job, so I do it. Listen, thanks everybody for being here. I'll stay around for about another minute.